the open at the close as we close out the 2024 NCCAA Division II Men's Basketball Championship. Mike Peden with you one more time. This is our fifth place game. Kansas Christian and Bob Jones. Here are the Kansas Christian starters. It's Oscar Traylor coming off a double-double yesterday. KP Williams, Brandon Anthony, Damon Wirtz, and Fernando Carvalho. Jaime KR, the head coach. For Bob Jones, same group as usual. Elijah Couples, Kenny Garrick, Camden Gearhart, Hayes Brush, and Trevor Brunson. Burton Uaro, the head coach for the Bruins. 3 games today. We'll have the fifth place game, followed by our third place match between Spurgeon and Harrodsburg. And then it's an all-Minnesota North Star State showdown for the championship, Crown College and North Central University. To get into this game, these two teams had to win their consolation semifinal, and Bob Jones did that against Grace Christian, winning 82-68. Able to pull away slowly but surely as the game went on. Bob Jones got 26 points off of turnovers. Grace Christian had 21 in that game. And for Kansas Christian, they saw a 26-point lead evaporate over Arlington Baptist, but they were able to coast to the finish, going on a 7-0 run after trailing 85-80, and that was just enough for them to make it into the fifth place game. Oscar Traylor had 26 points, 15 rebounds in that contest, and for Bob Jones, their leader was Kenny Garrick Jr., 17 points and 4 rebounds. Garrick, one of the names to watch for Bob Jones as we're underway. They'll wear the white, Kansas Christian wearing the navy. High-low, pass sent away by Oscar Traylor at 3, rims out. And the rebound collected by Damon Wirtz. Kansas Christian won the NCCAA Division II championship last year. This year they had effectively a brand new team, including 9 transfers. Won't get the same ending this year, but they are looking forward to going out on a high note. As the 8 seed, Bob Jones, the 2 seed, upset by Harrodsburg in the quarterfinals. Harrodsburg was shooting lights out in that one. Bob Jones looking for a lane along the right side. Didn't see one there initially. 4 to shoot. Couples pulls up. Swish. Elijah has been a solid force throughout this tournament for Bob Jones. He had 15 points in the quarterfinals, 16 points yesterday, hit 5 of 7 from the floor. Kansas Christian going cross court. That's Damon Wirtz with the bounce pass. Broken up, and it will stay with the Falcons early in the first half here. Of course, this is the tournament where ring chasing and king chasing converge. 8 to shoot for Carvalho. Doubled, and he walked himself into a traveling call. King chasing, if you are new to this tournament, it's a focus that helps lay a foundation of seeking Christ first and embodying that spirit. Before the tournament, all the teams took part in a service project, packing meals to benefit Feed My Starving Children. Oscar Traylor benefiting the Kansas Christian side with the block. And free throws coming for Brandon Anthony.
Bruins number 3, Trevor Brunson. His first team first.
Anthony at the line. Yesterday had 9 points. 4 of 7 from the floor. 7 assists. and 5 steals. Sometimes those numbers get lost in the shuffle, but I'm sure Jaime KR and the rest of the Kansas Christian crew will tell you they needed every one of those plays. For Bob Jones, that's Kenny Garrick, the 6'4" sport management senior, missing the short-range bunny. It's still 2-0 in favor of Bob Jones, but we still have a long way to go in this first half. There's a quick dump to a cutting trailer, and he's short. Garrick over to Couples. Now Brunson's got it. Gearhart hesitates, allowing Trailer to blow past him and get the easy layup. And Camden Gearhart, the 7-foot social studies education junior, well aware of his attributes. Carvalho missed the runner, but he'll put back his own miss. Carvalho out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, the 6'3" sophomore. And there has been a notable pipeline of Brazilians in this sport, including a few notable names on the women's side. Talk a little more about that as we make our way through. The spin move for Brunson, a little too strong. Carvalho got the board. This is Wirtz through the hole, into contact, but Gearhart stayed up. Didn't really see any entanglement between the two. It will stay with Kansas Christian. Carvalho, again from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Jeanette Arcane, a member of the Houston Comets dynasty in the WNBA. Camilla Cardoso of South Carolina. You might have heard about her hitting her first career three-pointer in the SEC Women's Tournament to help the Gamecocks ultimately get through and maintain their spot as the #1 overall seed when the women's tournament field is announced tomorrow. 4-2 the score here as we close out the tournament field. Dump down inside. Garrick for 3. It's long. Dead ball rebound to Kansas Christian.
Now for the game for Kansas Christian, #1, Malik Martin.
Oscar Trailer, 26 points, 15 rebounds yesterday. The 26 points was a season high for him. And he was just shy of a season high in rebounds. But 26 and 15 is nothing to sneeze at. And that little floater by KP Williams is certainly nothing to sneeze at. 4-2 the score. 4-4 the score now. Couples, bounce pass to Vanderhart. Along the corner. Now takes a stroll underneath the bucket. And the reverse goes in. Anthony to Wirtz, back to Anthony. Back to Wirtz again. Going backside with Kansas Christian, and KP Williams rises up again. Falcons take a timeout. We've seen a lot of that in this tournament where teams take a timeout after a made bucket, and that will give us a chance to catch our breath. It's 6-6 in the early going. .15:04 left in the first half. A reminder that even though this tournament will wrap up, we still have plenty more in the weeks and months ahead And we've got plenty more. Oscar Traylor, the junior from Oklahoma City, gets the steal and run out. Kansas Christian now up 8-6. But you can follow us on social media, and you can follow Brandon Anthony as he replicates the play Oscar Traylor pulled off just a moment ago. And that will lead to a Bob Jones timeout. Back-to-back steals and runouts for the Falcons as they drop a proverbial Falco punch to take a 10-6 lead. We just might have had the quickest timeout in NCCAA Division II history. Well, these two teams are raring to go. That's what it tells me. Another turnover for Bob Jones. Anthony leaking out again, but he could not get position. Tostadas Pouncey was right on top of him there, so Bob Jones catches a break. 3 straight turnovers, though. A couple of them led to buckets. A bump. Pass goes behind the half-court line, and that makes 4 turnovers in the last 4 possessions for Bob Jones. That is going to complicate the path to a 5th place finish in the final day of the NCCAA Division II tournament. Women's tournament wrapping up as well today. You can watch those games live, of course, right here on the NCCAA Network. Traylor off to KP Williams, and he's feeling it now. Williams, 6 points, has connected on his first 3 shots, and that makes 6 points off the last 4 turnovers for Bob Jones. And Couples almost lost his balance and lost the ball in the process. Vanderhart, spin move. That ends the streak of 4 turnovers and 4 possessions. And Vanderhart did so with flair. Right now, it's a brief 4-on-5. As Hunter had to tie its shoe. Couples with the snatch. But Bob Jones unable to capitalize. Chad Vanderhart called for traveling. And those are the types of miscues that can haunt. You had an uncontested layup awaiting you. But it's been a lot of fun getting to know a glimpse of all these players. I say glimpse because everyone here is more than what their stat line and record says. Sometimes that can get lost in the process, the journey of a basketball season that hopefully culminates in a tournament championship. I'm not careful, I'm going to trip myself up. Pouncey, too strong on the take. Traylor got the board there. Hunter bringing the ball up. Caden Hunter out of Ashdown, Arkansas. Gavin Jones, he came up with some big plays yesterday in the closing stages to ensure Kansas Christian would play one more day. Malik Martin is fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
Foul on number 50, Camden Gerhardt. His first, team second.
Martin, 6 points, 6 rebounds yesterday. Had 14 and 6 in the quarterfinals. All the stats here, they do count in the overall tally in both high school and college ball. And Malik Martin makes his free throw trip count, knocking down both. So it's 14-8, Kansas Christian over Bob Jones. Gerhardt, past Jones for the bucket. Cross-court skip. Wirtz wanted to go around. Instead, he'll get the scoop to fall. There were about 4 jerseys closing in, and it's just like a scene in those martial arts movies where one man or woman navigates through a legion of not so friendly foes. Of course, we don't have to worry about such a circumstance here. The jumper doesn't drop for Malik Martin. Rebound Garrick. But Kansas Christian coming out strong like they did yesterday. Remember, they were up by 26 for a time before that photo finish. Garrick, the handoff. 3 from the wing is short. That was Hayes Brush out of Greer, South Carolina. One of the 2 scholar athletes on this year's list of award recipients. Jones, the turnaround too strong. Brush and Pouncey momentarily battling for the rebound. And that's something you got to watch for. Pulling up from the elbow and draining the jumper is Elijah Couples. You got to keep an eye on him too. Couples with 4 points. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Bob Jones, looks like they're zoning up. Backdoor play. I think the pass was a little offline, and Pouncey got contacted trying to bring the ball up for a fast break chance. That will be a foul on Kansas Christian.
His first, team first.
Just the first on Malik Martin. And overall, this game not really super physical. And just as I say that, Couples will go to the line for 3 after he got bumped by Isaac Lane. You got to make sure those shooters can land. And those are the types of fouls on sets that really stick out like a sore thumb, to quote the old saying. Couples, the 6'3" senior majoring in business administration. Struggled in the quarterfinals, went 5 of 14. Yesterday, 5 of 7, and far more efficient, to say the least. And he has been making his free throws count. He gets all 3 of those. And in this tournament, he has made all but 1. That makes it 16-15. And if this game gets down to crunch time, Couples is going to be someone they want to keep track of, because he will, more often than not, come through at the free throw line. Jump ball. Kansas Christian holding the arrow, but still a solid piece of defensive work by the towering Camden Gearhart. Social studies education, so history must be one of his favorite subjects. 9:43 left, timeout on the floor, as these 2 teams hope to add one more piece of history to their 23-24 season.
The official NCCAA National Championship gear.
At Truett Seminary Faith and Sports Institute, Christian leaders in sports are equipped through theological education, practical training, and useful resources. You can join an online or residential graduate degree program, gain continuing education certificates, and participate in character and leadership practicums. Start your journey today at Baylor.edu/Truett/FSI. That's Baylor.edu/Truett/FSI. We want to thank them and all the other sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Jones trapped near the corner, coming out of the timeout. He ends up throwing it away. Garrick catches the ball in stride. He'll take it all the way. Denny Garrick out of Covington, Georgia, that is. Lane had the ball stripped. Bob Jones on the run again. Pouncey, the beneficiary. Rush will get the assist. And Bob Jones up 19-16. Going on a 9-0 run, if memory serves. Bob Jones again was the 2 seed when the field of 8 was finalized. 8 to shoot for Kansas Christian. This is Ruben Doria. Jones, Lane, 3 to shoot. He's got to go. He does, but it's too strong. Ball didn't touch rim. Now it's Kansas Christian running into ball control problems.
Number 0, Oscar Traylor. Number 5, Brandon Anthony. Number 10, David Worth. And number 4, Kevin Williams.
Bob Jones getting a couple of buckets off turnovers, looking to get another one here on a set play. Rush to Pouncey. Garrick. A little too strong on the pull-up J. Anthony. Kansas Christian having some trouble hanging on to that rock. And they throw it away again. I believe that's 4 straight turnovers now on Kansas Christian. They get the stop there, though. Knocking the ball away from Harris, who takes it back. A little hot potato game amidst this basketball battle. The step through and the roll for Elijah Couples. He's got 9 now, 9 points and a couple of steals. Bob Jones has 7 steals altogether. With 7:15 left in the first half. They lead 21-16. It's now an 11-0 run, and that could grow a little more as Kansas Christian commits the errant pass.
Now bringing for Bob Jones, number 3, Trevor Brumlin, and number 21, Shaq Vanderhart.
11 turnovers now on Kansas Christian. About 5 or 6 in a row in terms of possessions. Ten to shoot for Bob Jones. It's Brunson. Unable to shake off Wirtz for the moment. The Bruins will have 5 to shoot following the inbound. With the shot clock winding down, that did not touch rim, so shot clock violation on Bob Jones. Brunson did his best, just didn't get enough touch, enough softness on that runner. Couples now with 3 steals, though. Trailer. Just outside the high post. Finds nowhere to go. Anthony. Passes out to Wirtz. And Bob Jones protecting that interior well on that play. Kansas Christian has gone nearly 6 minutes without a bucket. Wirtz called for the foul. That's going to send Tostadas Pouncey to the line, the sport management major out of Ludowici, Georgia. Had 4 points in the quarterfinal round. 8 points in yesterday's consolation semi. (23-16). Bob Jones has scored the last 13 points. Elbow J goes down for Brandon Anthony, and that will put an end to the Bob Jones run. But they turned what was a 16-10 deficit into what is now a 5-point lead. Vanderhart around the lane. 3 on the way. It's pure for Hayes Brush. And Bob Jones rolling in the dough right now. They lead by 8. 5:21 left in the first half. Bob Jones, after trailing 16-10, on a 16-2 run. And they've been doing it, converting several turnovers into points. They'll have another chance to add to that figure as Kansas Christian stepped on the baseline. 11 points off turnovers for the Bruins of Bob Jones, while Kansas Christian just committed their 12th turnover of the first half. And again, the end of the season is a little different than the start, but the Falcons didn't have anyone from last year's championship team back. And it is a test of patience when you have to regroup with a brand new team. That included 9 transfers. Anthony stepped through in the lane. Gone off the front of the iron, but that's it. Bob Jones fakes the 3. Garrick looking to attack. Pulls up. Gearhart. Now Vanderhart. Count it. Chad Vanderhart out of Runnels, Iowa. The 6'6" sophomore. And this, my friends, is a rugged example of persistence. Bob Jones patrolling that rim. And patrolling it well. Vanderhart doesn't get the three-point play. 9 points yesterday. And Bob Jones now up by 10, their largest lead of the game, as they extend the run to 18-2 after trailing by 6. Kansas Christian, the three from the wing is short. Vanderhart pursued a little too far for that rebound. Gearhart blocks Traylor. Anthony collects. Wirtz over to Lewis. He throws it away. Couples lobs it. Brunson back to Couples. A foul before the pass got to him. I wasn't quite sure if Couples had reestablished himself. But the foul on Brandon Anthony makes that entire speculation a moot point. But 18-2 is the run for Bob Jones. For Kansas Christian, they had a field goal drought of about 5 minutes, and they haven't done a whole lot to address it. A three from the corner, rips through the net. Elijah Couples now has 12. You wonder what might have been if he didn't struggle mightily in the quarterfinal, but as the saying goes, hindsight is 20/20. Couples certainly making the most of the opportunities these last two games. It may not be enough for all tournament team consideration, but for the senior, it will be enough to showcase what he can do one last time this season and perhaps in his playing career. Errant pass for Bob Jones. That's going to allow Traylor to run in for a fast break score. A sight for sore eyes if you're Kansas Christian. With the litany of turnovers causing problems. Turnaround and the finish. For Shad Vanderhart, he's got 8 off the bench. Shad, another player who has elevated his game the last couple of days. Kansas Christian coughs it up again. A bizarre series of events over the last 11 minutes or so in this first half. Well, since the 11-minute mark, I should clarify. Kansas Christian, they look pretty sharp. You saw those back-to-back steals and runouts, and now they're the ones unable to keep a firm grip on that orange rock. We've got 2:03 left in the first half. Kenny Garrick, another take, another layup. As Bob Jones pushes the lead higher and higher, 35-20. Traylor drew the contact, and they'll give him the continuation. He just joined us. Traylor had a season-high 26 points yesterday in the consolation semifinal. He finished the regular season 4th in the nation for blocks, 6th in steals as we take another look. Just a simple, quick cut. And he got to the spot first before Vanderhart could adjust. A three-point play. That could give Kansas Christian a lifeline. Vanderhart, the step through. Lane wasn't giving him any of that. Jones. Wirtz at the corner. Will back off. Hunter will reset the offense as Bob Jones implementing a 2-1-2. Anthony fakes the three. Tried to sling it to Jones. Instead, Vanderhart lunging for the deflection. Garrett gets the steal. This is Couples. The skip. Bounce pass inside to Vanderhart. That doesn't work out. 2-on-1 for the Falcons. Isaac Lane completes the transition play. Eight-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Wilkins skips it over to Brush for three. It's short, and Kansas Christian, after trailing for a time by 15, has a chance to finish this half on a run. That's not going to happen, though. The steal by Brush. He rises up for the slam. You talk about 4-point swings. That could be a monumental one as we take another look before going into halftime. Wilkins set up Brush with the poke from behind against an unsuspecting Kansas Christian team. And Hayes Brush, the 6'2 graduate student out of Greer, South Carolina, showing off his hops. It's 37-25 as we head to the halftime intermission. They're a little longer today. We have more of the standard windows, so we'll be back in about 15 minutes, maybe a little less, to go over first half stats and analysis in the fifth place game of the NCCAA Division II Men's Basketball Tournament right here on the NCCAA Network.
I chose Grace Christian University because it's a small campus and it's like family.
Christ is really at the center here. I feel the Christian influence of it is really important to me.
This is a really good place to grow and to learn, and it's also a good place to fail, and you have really good supports behind you.
Pick somewhere where people are going to care about you. Pick somewhere where people want to watch you grow as a person, grow as a student, grow as a family member, grow as a friend.
In the heart of the Midwest is a college that's different, where students work for their education instead of paying tuition, where teaching Christian character is just as important as academics, and where future leaders learn from world leaders. A college where our love for America is celebrated by preparing students to take their role in American history. This is College of the Ozarks, and this is where lives are changed.
Making the right choice about college begins with parents asking the right questions about college. At boyscollege.com/questions, you will learn the 9 issues Christian parents need to consider. Go to boyscollege.com/questions. A lifetime of faithfulness in preaching, in teaching, in discipling, and in counseling begins with an education that is trusted for truth. Find the theological degree that best fits your ministry goals at sbts.edu/faithful.
Crown College is a boldly Christian college located in Minnesota on 215 acres of land. We pride ourselves in the pursuit of excellence, not only in academics, but in chapel, the student experience, and athletics. Students can pick from one of our 30 majors, compete in one of our 18 sports, and participate in student activities each week. Come visit us on one of our visit days or schedule a private visit and let your experience speak for itself.
In the heart of the Midwest is a college that's different, where students work for their education instead of paying tuition, where teaching Christian character is just as important as academics, and where future leaders learn from world leaders. A college where our love for America is celebrated by preparing students to take their role in American history. This is College of the Ozarks, and this is where lives are changed.
Second half will start in just a couple moments right here at Clark Danielson Gymnasium. Fifth place game in the NCCAA Division II men's basketball tournament. The first half stats. Bob Jones up 37-25. They trailed 16-10, and then an 18-2 run tilted the narrative in their favor. The field goal shooting, both teams excellent in that category. The turnovers, that has been the story. 16 against Kansas Christian. Bob Jones has scored 18 points off those turnovers, 11 steals for the Bruins, including 4 from Elijah Couples. It was Bob Jones who was succumbing to those plays early on, and then they were able to start making those grabs, those reaches in the passing lane to tilt this game in their favor. And looking at the individual numbers, Couples with 12 points and 4 steals to lead the Bruins. Shad Vanderhart, 8 off the bench. He's 4-5 from the floor, as is Couples. For Kansas Christian, they're led by Traylor with 7 points, 4 rebounds. He had that double-double yesterday. KP Williams has 6. This is a battle for fifth place. Later on today, we'll have the third place game and introduce the first 2 members of our all-tournament team. And then we will present the final 3 players in our championship game. That's how the format will go. There also will be an award presentation for our third place team and championship team. The second place team also will receive a plaque, as will the fourth place team. So that is a sense of what to expect today, since this is our final day of the NCCAA Division II season. Both the men's and women's tournaments wrapping up today. And if you'd like to watch this and any other game from this tournament and all of our tournaments, you can do so on demand at NCCAAnetwork.com or download the NCCAA Network app on your TV or streaming device. 20 more minutes in the season for these 2 programs. And earlier we spoke of king chasing. I'll elaborate a little more as we get ready to start. The king chasing program uses the 4 values of the game plan for life: love, integrity, faith, and excellence, to enhance the purpose of collegiate athletics to be more than winning championships. The mission of the king chasing program is to keep Christ at the center of the student-athlete experience. As I've said all tournament long, this is a game, and it's no different than all the other games that are taking place today. Big Ten men's semifinals happening now. Minnesota State girls basketball championship rounds are today, but no matter where you are, no matter what tournament, what level you're playing, you are more than what your stat line and record says. There's a world out there, and that is the purpose of king chasing and all the other attributes that make these athletes who they are. Bob Jones with the first possession of the second half. Hayes Brush can't brush down a three-pointer, and the ball rolls into the entrance area of Clark Danielson Gymnasium. And had it gone any further, I think it would have rolled straight down to the target center. No, we would have retrieved it by then. But a great time to be a basketball fan here in Minneapolis. That much I can say. Kansas Christian, it looked like they were going to have a run to end the first half, and then that steal, which led to the breakaway slam by Hayes Brush, who gets called for the foul there. Swung the pendulum back in the Bob Jones side. This is KP Williams, first trip to the line today. 6 points, 3 of 4 from the floor. Yesterday, 19 points, 8 of 12 shooting in 25 minutes of action. He was held to just 2 points in the quarterfinals, so since then he has performed quite well. (37-27). after a successful trip to the line for Williams. Brush to Brunson. 8 to shoot for Bob Jones. Brunson for 3. It's short. Karam. Brush tracked it down, and he tracks Gerhardt for the high-low layup. Camden Gerhardt has 6 points now. Trailer. The bounce pass to a cutting Ruben Doria. Doesn't pan out. It looked like the ball was going in for a moment, but alas, it would not. Rush making his move. He can't get the roll. Wirtz zipping down court and zipping in the fast break score. Brunson fakes the 3 this time. Now Brush back to Brunson. Bounce pass to Gerhardt. Brunson again from the left wing. Garrick to Brush for 3. Yes! Hayes Brush with 8 now. He has been a productive member of the Bruins roster in this tournament. 11-9 in the first 2 rounds. Catch and shoot 3 is short from Doria. Garrick tried to tip the rebound. Instead, Carvalho's got it. And he'll ultimately get the second chance play out of it. Kenny Garrick Jr., not really any fault of his, tried to tip the rebound, but Carvalho, not exactly a small potato at 6'3". Neither is Camden Gerhardt, who scores again. 8 points for the junior to make it 44-31 in our first of 3 games today. Trailer to Wirtz. He pulls up. Can't knock it down. Rebound Brush. Gerhardt, he wants the 3. Almost. Trailer lobs to Wirtz. Barreling down is Kansas Christian, but nothing to show for it. Couples to Garrick. Brunson now, back to Couples. 3 ball, corner pocket. 15 for Elijah Couples and Bob Jones. Extending their lead once more. It's their largest of the game. 47-31. Elijah Couples feasting here in Minneapolis. $16 minutes left in the second half. It was 16-10 for Kansas Christian. Bob Jones went on an 18-2 run, and they haven't shown any signs of giving up that advantage since. They are still shooting at a 50% clip from the floor. And Elijah Couples carrying the flag of that marksmanship, 5 of 6. Again, you take away that quarterfinal performance, who knows, but That's the benefit of having a consolation and a third-place game. You get one more chance to make up for lost ground. Wirtz attacking the rim, gets it again. 3 tries, nothing to show for it. Couples. Over to Brunson. Brush. To Garrick Jr. From short range. Drops another one for the Bruins. 6 points for Kenny Garrick Jr. He and Couples made the all-region first team, and Couples proving why he got such recognition in this tournament. Vanderhart rips the ball away, looks to take it himself. Trailer sealed him off. Now Kansas Christian, they don't have the numbers to go in for a fast break look. They'll have to run a set here. They'll pull up from long range, and swishing it home is Ruben Doria, the freshman out of Houston, Texas. Jaime Kayar's hometown, the head coach for Kansas Christian. We mentioned yesterday, spent several years in various roles with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. Garrick Jr. Turnaround. Doria with good coverage on him that time. "16-footer doesn't drop for Kansas Christian's KP Williams. It will stay with Bob Jones after the ball was dislodged from Brush's grasp. Gearhart. Jones trying to stay on top of him. He'll go outside to Couples. The 3 is in and out. Wilkins almost secured the offensive rebound. And Bob Jones takes a timeout. They have plenty in their pocket, as you can see. They still hold a 16-point lead.
North Central Athletics would like to thank Stadium Village Chick-fil-A for being the
You can get highlights and scheduling information on our social media channels. Follow us at the NCCAA or at NCCAA Champs on Twitter. Instagram at the NCCAA. Trailer tried the dump down. Bob Jones able to come up with it. That was a rare sight. Couples will settle things down, but Brush collided, I think, with Vanderhart. You don't see two teammates run into each other like that following a deflection. They were still able to maintain possession, but that was a wild and unusual sight that unfolded for a moment. Step through. Not quite there for Dylan Harris. And a dead ball rebound for Bob Jones, but they've got one slight problem. They only have 1 second. Okay, no, they had 20. The ball did touch rim or not. Okay, it did touch rim. So they do get a reset to 20, and that does change the tenor of this possession. They have time to run a set rather than get up a hurried shot. Now they've got 10 to shoot here. Harris outside the high post to Wilkins. Seeing his first action of the tournament. His drive goes nowhere. Wirtz. His run to the rim comes up awry. Bob Jones overall has kept Kansas Christian in check since they took the lead midway through the first half. Ball deflected, so no double dribble. Brush inside to Harris. And the 6'6" political science major makes it an 18-point lead for Bob Jones, 51-33. Bounce pass. Ultimately picked off. Wilkins snatching it for the Bob Jones side. And Elijah Couples adds another bucket to an illustrious tournament run. Again, take away that first game, who knows? Maybe he gets consideration for the all-tournament team, but Oscar Traylor scoring on the putback. Traylor with 9 points, 7 rebounds, so he is approaching another double-double. The follow-up is 26 and 15 yesterday. Now he and Couples, oh my. Now that you don't see often. Had fortunes gone in their favor in the quarterfinals, perhaps folks like Couples or Traylor might have made the all-tournament team, but they still are going to close out the season with some performances, a showcase they can build on. In the case of Traylor, for Couples, this might be it for him, being the senior. Jones launches a three, it's short. Wilkins, another rebound. Brandon Wilkins, the freshman out of Greenville, South Carolina. Also the location of Bob Jones University. Brush fakes, dumps it to Harris. Gathers himself down low and goes up for the score. Bob Jones in full control. They lead by 20. Bounce pass. Foul and one for Malik Martin, the senior out of Dallas, Texas.
Foul on Bruins number 33, Kenny Garrett Jr., his first, team second.
Another look at that score for Malik Martin. You saw Kenny Garrett reach in there to attempt a tie-up and just couldn't stay away from him when he went up, and that can be tough sometimes in stride. No three-point play for Malik Martin. He picked up his second field goal. Bob Jones looking for a three. They don't get it. Doria, swish. Stepped into that elbow, Jay, in every sense of the word. Back-to-back scores for Kansas Christian. We saw them fight back after losing a 26-point lead. That will be a foul on Jones with 9:43 left in the second half. Just the first on Gavin Jones. And with that, a timeout on the floor as Bob Jones taking one step closer to a fifth place finish.
Farm Designs will be selling official championship t-shirts for a discounted price of just $10.
D2 Men's Basketball National Championship gear is available online. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, pullovers, and more with the option to personalize the design. Shop today at championshipgear.com. And a reminder that about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, they are more stringent about the procedures as we understand it. We'll have our third place game between Harrodsburg and Spurgeon. One last chance to see the National Player of the Year in Jude Warren. It's Wilkins on the take. Doria sealed them off. Kansas Christian looking for a lifeline here. Anthony back to Doria. Anthony again. Seven to shoot. Foul on Harris. And they're going to give Malik Martin the shooting motion. It has been interesting as I've covered this tournament and others to see what constitutes a shooting motion and what doesn't. I don't have the officiating background, of course. I just find it intriguing to see how that definition is applied as Malik Martin is at the line here. Yesterday, Martin, again 6 points, hit both his free throws. He'll have to settle for a split this time. He's been shooting solidly from the charity stripe in this tournament. So it's a 15-point margin now for Kansas Christian. There's Bob Jones hoping to stave off a comeback bid. Brunson nets his first bucket of the game. The 6'5 junior out of Ramseur, North Carolina. Kick out to Jones. He was looking for the three. Garrett closed in time. Contested jumper by Martin is short. Wilkins, he's been putting in some production here, and Bob Jones saves it. Wilkins, extra pass. Harris blocked by Jones. It will stay with the Bruins, but that was an impressive piece of work to save the ball after the errant pass by Couples. I thought it was going out of bounds. They were able to keep it in the field of play. That is a rarity when you have a sloppy pass like that. Vanderhart had his trip up stripped away. It will stay with Bob Jones. Following that media timeout, there was a discussion and a foul on Jones just as the inbound was made. There was a discussion. I think Harris had a not so pleasant word with one of the officials, not jawing at him per se, but there was an elongated chat before teams went to the huddle. Gearhart over to Pouncey. Bob Jones taking their time on this possession. Now Brush launches a three. Swish. Hayes Brush with 11 points. And that could help Bob Jones reassume control. Doria, no look dish. And Hunter laces that three. Kansas Christian will take another timeout with 7:25 left in the second half. But the Falcons still have a lot of work to do if they want to end this tournament run with another victory.
Sandwiches are available for purchase in the concession stand, located just outside.
Going over the numbers, Elijah Couples still leading Bob Jones with 17 points, 4 steals. Hayes Brush now has 11. He had 11 in the quarterfinals and 9 in yesterday's game with Grace Christian. 6 rebounds as well to lead the Bruins. On the Kansas Christian side, nobody has reached double digits yet. And the game has not gone smoothly for Wirtz. This game, anyway. He's just 2 for 10. Bob Jones breaks the press. Vanderhart races in. Shad Vanderhart with 10 off the bench in this one. Another takeaway. This time it's Brunson. He's fouled on the way up. And he will walk his way to the free throw line. Brunson, 10 points in the quarterfinals, 12 points yesterday.
His second team third.
This is his first trip to the free throw line.
Now to the game for the Falcons. Number 0, Oscar Trailer. And number 10, David Wirtz.
That shot okay from the charity stripe. All region's second team. For the school that was founded in 1927. They were undefeated at home and entered this tournament with the best record in program history. And even though it won't translate to a championship for them, it could plant the seeds of even brighter futures for those that come back and for those coming in to the Bob Jones program as they lead by 21. And look to have this game secured. Vanderhart slightly despondent. Kansas Christian playing a little clock management here, but they're going to need a little more than that as the ball is deflected out of bounds. They were up 16-10, and then ball control just withered away. 16 first half turnovers. They've done a better job so far in the second half. But Bob Jones, even better. They have just 2 turnovers in this half after 10 in the first half. And if you're not giving up the ball, you're protecting your possessions. At the very least, you're not allowing the other team to get quick answers on the other end. As the 3 comes up short. Bob Jones, 22 points off turnovers, just 10 for Kansas Christian. Trailer was looking for the leaner, doesn't get it. And leaping out of nowhere was Hayes Brush, who tipped the ball over to Gearhart. Hayes Brush, one of the hustle players in today's game. As Pouncey working off a couple of screens. As a one-on-one, takes it in himself, comes up short. Bounce pass. Trailer doesn't quite get it in position for the touch layup opportunity. Martin has that one thrown away. And Bob Jones will go back to the free throw line. After the foul on Trailer, just his first.
Foul covers number 0, Oscar Trailer. His first team fourth.
22 turnovers now, 23, as they just updated the stat sheet for Kansas Christian. And unless you're forcing about an equal amount, it's going to be hard to win games turning over the ball at such a high rate. Brunson shooting 2. And Trailer will check out. I don't know if that will be for the final time or not. It's possible with 4:56 left and Bob Jones padding their lead. After a sluggish start, the first 8 or 9 minutes were a little rough for Burton Uraro and his crew as Jones lines up a three, has it bounce away, and it will be a dead ball rebound for the Bruins. Garrick will check in place of Vanderhart. And the Bob Jones fans who are sticking around, saluting him. And deservedly so. Shad Vanderhart, 5 of 8, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Rush to Brunson for 3. It's there. The 4th assist for Brush. And Brunson up to 9 points. Bob Jones, they're going to get out of here with the win. Step back 3 for Hunter, offline. Kansas Christian, it's not just the turnovers that have afflicted them severely in the second half. They've lost their touch on the floor as well. They are shooting under 30% after hitting 45.8 in the first half. As Brush gets underneath for the scoop. Bob Jones has been more or less consistent, 50% in the first half, slightly under 50 in the second half. And that's why they have turned this second half into a clinic. Kansas Christian ends a field goal drought of nearly 4 minutes on the score by Hunter, but it's not going to be enough to get the win today. Bob Jones, they will get the 5th place finish. State tournaments, if you cover those, they're known as the Consolation Championship. As Hunter scores, Bob Jones will take a substitution timeout to get Pouncey and Brunson to the bench. He's going to put out his primary guys, Couples and Garrick, out there, perhaps to close out this game. And give them a send-off, particularly for Couples. One of the seniors who I suspect is completing his college career today. Kenny Garrick, another one. Shot clock didn't reset properly, so we've got to address that. With 2:51 left. Elijah Couples, he had 3 solid games in this tournament, leading with 17 points. And Hayes Brush has been consistent as well. 13.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. Another player who will likely hang it up. And Bob Jones, I see what they did. They brought Couples and Garrick and Brush to the floor so that they could all sub out together. Well, Couples is still on the floor, but I imagine he will be checking out soon so he can get the send-off that Garrick and Brush have received. And getting in the game and scoring the layup is Kane Eames, the 6'4 freshman out of Hilton Head, South Carolina. He plans to major in business administration. And just like those high school games where those deep reserves get some playing time and get a scoring play, it's no less exciting at the college level. You'll hear this a lot. Those unsung heroes, they go to the practices, they work just as much as the primary players do, as KP Williams gets the putback. But they're the ones who don't always get the glory, the lower deck officers. If any of you follow the Star Trek Lower Deck series, Caleb Owens nails the 3. We'll have another substitution timeout. So we'll keep it here. And a reminder that after this game goes final, we will have our play of the game. So stick around. And as you can see on our score bug and on the board, these timeouts do count for the Bob Jones side, but again, they are just substitution timeouts, so no sense huddling up when the game is in hand, but that substitution timeout gave Couples the chance for the send-off that his fellow seniors and graduate students got just a moment ago. Caleb Owens, Kane Eanes, and our Connor Barfield, the junior, getting in on the action. Connor Barfield was one of the Scholar athletes for 2024. You've heard the phrase icing on the cake. In games like this, I don't think you could get much sweeter than this for Bob Jones. That three doesn't go in. And we're going to have one more stoppage at least as KP Williams goes to the line. Kansas Christian, they have a lot to look forward to. Jaime KR, in his third season, last year, got Kansas Christian an ACCA and NCCAA championship. They were 5-5 going into the winter break. They finished 13-4. And looking at their roster, Malik Martin, the lone senior in the group. So if Kansas Christian is able to retain some of these other players, including Traylor, you have to think that experience could go a long way. Bob Jones, everyone gets a three or a bucket. You get a score, you get a score, you get a score. Davis McCarn got one there, the 6'4" sophomore out of Norcross, Georgia. They can't hold it. They'll have to take one more shot. And the bench, they want one more three. They don't get it. Will they get one here? Yes! William Snipes, a fitting name as he connects on the corner three. The senior from Abbeville, South Carolina, majoring in business administration. What an ending for Bob Jones. All of the deep reserves getting a scoring play. They ran away in the second half, shooting over 50%. And they will take a fifth place finish. 84-50 the final. Bob Jones goes out on a high note. And high note might be an understatement. 84-50. Couples with 17 points. Brush with 13. Vanderhart with 10. And for Couples and Brush, this could be the end of one journey and the start of another. Williams leading Kansas Christian with 11 points. As the post-game proceedings continue, here's our play of the game. It was the first half steal and dunk by Hayes Brush, the graduate student. And in a sense, that was the turning point of the game because Kansas Christian, it was looking like they might go on a run to end the first half and get within single digits. That steal and runaway for Hayes Brush made it a 12-point game, and Bob Jones never let off the gas after that. We've got an extended break here with this game wrapping up a little early, so a reminder, we are back at 4 p.m. for our third place game. That will feature Harrodsburg and Spurgeon. Jude Warren, the National Player of the Year, your last chance to see him this season, followed by our championship at 6 p.m. with Crown and North Central. So, for now, this is Mike Peden thanking you for watching the first of our three games here on our Saturday session at the NCCAA Division II Men's Basketball Tournament. We'll see you again at 4 p.m.